This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. Change of season coming very soon. I haven't checked the date, but spring is like literally days away. Have you thought about maybe changing your living space to reflect the change of season? So many of us get fixated on the major changes, but we can make minor changes and just get a breath of fresh air for a new season, whether it's indoors or outdoors. We're going to take a look at that today. She is an interior designer, does such amazing work. I got to be honest, I've never met anybody in her field that has the answer to every question. It's so cool. Like, she thinks for a second, and then there you go. There's the answer, and it's spot on. Tab Interior Designs is her company. She's our professional of the year. Trish Bonney is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So when we talk about a change of season in spring, first thing comes to my mind is the living room and changing things up in there. So let's say maybe lighter colored pillows on your couch. You take them out of storage and just swap them out with something that was from the winter. Simple changes like that. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Is that part of those changes on your list?
Yes, obviously, you can see the wallpaper behind me. I'm more of a dark and moody person. So I like dark and moody in the winter because it's more cozy. I still like it in the summertime because it actually makes me feel a little bit cooler as well. So that's a little interesting thought that you can put out there, but I will brighten things up with that being said. And you can be very budget conscious with little changes that'll make a big impact. So instead of changing the entire pillow, you can just get different pillowcases. And there are a lot of people like on Etsy, for example, that will make pillowcases for you if you don't know how to do it yourself. But even when I was pretty broke and I was in the military and much younger, I used to make my own pillowcases. It's literally a square and you can make like a pocket envelope type opening if you don't know how to do a zipper. But you don't even need like a yard of fabric to do two pillowcases. And instead of changing out the entire pillow, because that'll cost more, and two, that takes up a lot more space, just do the pillowcases. But I like brighter colors in the summertime and more muted in the winter. But even my artwork, I will sometimes change that out. Again, from experience, when I was broke, I will use black and white photos from calendars. So do you know who Ansel Adam is, for example?
Mm-hmm.
He does amazing photography and beautiful, beautiful pictures. So I used to buy, when the calendars went on sale from the previous year, his calendars. So he has black and white ones and he has some in color. So I love his photography. So I would switch out black and white from winter to his color ones in the summer and springtime.
Wow.
And they're just really gorgeous. It's typically of, landscape architecture, which is, the fall colors or the spring colors or whatever. And then wintertime, like I said, I do black and white. And you just reuse your frames. Because if you're buying the same size, and again, the calendars were always the same size, I didn't have to get new frames. So it was very inexpensive because his calendars are about anywhere from $20 to $35. But if you're buying all new artwork, new frames, you can easily get over $100 per piece. So those are just simple, quick things that you can change out. You can go to, your home goods stores and get brighter blankets. You still might use a blanket at nighttime when it gets a little cooler, but maybe it's a brighter color, something to throw over the sofa. You can change out your books that are on your coffee table if you have any of those and just brighten it up. And people are going to think you made huge changes when in reality, it's not much at all.
Wow. First thing that comes to my mind was back in the day, and this is going back, I want to say 15, 10 years ish, even a little bit less than that. I wanted to replace the patios out, the pillows on my patio furniture, and I found a retired neighbor that was a little handy, and I found the fabric I liked, and it was UV rated. It was, not just any fabric, and she made my pillows. So I had the pillows from the set. Just took that pillow covers off and put hers on, and lasted many years. So, and like almost nothing to have her do it. She was happy to crank them out on her machine, and beautiful.
Yeah, and then you're also helping out a neighbor for somebody who might have extra time or needs a little extra cash. You can
Sure.
always go on Facebook Marketplace and see if you can find that person that can help you with something like that. So
Mm,
it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
yeah,
And
totally.
again, the fabrics, you can go online and easily, if it's outdoor, just find outdoor rated fabrics for sure. Because you want to make sure it doesn't get soaked when it does rain or something like that. But
Yep.
yeah, that's a quick and easy one.
Yeah. So inside, if we wanted to change it up for a change of season, what are some of the other suggestions, Jeff?
So again, I'm gonna revert back to the wallpaper behind me. That is a peel and stick wallpaper or temp paper, if you want to call it
Oh,
that. If you want to go a little more fun and bold, it doesn't take very long. I did 4 walls in here, and it took me like 2 days because I'm very anal and meticulous about it. But if you get something without a lot of pattern, like I of course picked the most pattern humanly possible. That was hard to match up, but
yeesh.
you can get some that it is created kind of like a mural where each drop is its own piece. So it's already kind of set out for you and laid out. So you don't have to do much matching up, or it becomes in a giant roll where you have to cut and stuff like that. But it's not like traditional wallpaper where you put glue or adhesive or anything paste on it like that. Um, with that being said, in New York, you guys have a much more humid summer. So you have to be careful.
Mm,
When it gets humid, if you don't have a good quality peel and stick, it can just come right off or it can bubble. Here we live in a desert. Colorado is considered a desert. So
well,
I haven't had to touch this at all. It hasn't fallen down, it hasn't bubbled or anything like that. But you also need to make sure you get a good quality because if one day we have a humid day here, it probably would come down. A way that you can get away with that is you can add a little more decoration to it and put some of the nice looking tacks up at the top, really measure it out and make it look like it was purposeful, to hold it up and in place if you are concerned about that. But I've had one peel and stick in one of my bedrooms at my house since 2017. It hasn't moved,
wow.
even through the few days that we have that are humid. But with that being said, it's a really good quality. So that's not you can find really inexpensive peel and stick wallpaper. That's where I would probably use the tax regardless. Or you can get a really good one. That one's going to cost you a little bit. But again, if you keep the paper that is behind it, you can take it down, put it back on the paper, and reuse it later.
So let's say you want to take it down. How easy is it to remove it from the wall?
Just take your fingernail and pick it and start pulling it like a sticker. It just
Wow.
it comes right off. Now, if the paint was like, let's say you painted the walls for whatever reason, and 3 days later you put the peel and stick wallpaper up, can it peel the paint underneath? It can. Typically it won't, but if you do that, just make sure you allow your paint to dry like a month. That is the suggested dry time for paint, not a couple of days.
Why would
So
you paint the wall and then put up the wallpaper anyway?
some people have done that in case, because when you put them side by side, if you don't overlap it, some people like to have it really tight,
Okay.
and you might not get it tight enough and you may see the color underneath. Or it is suggested that you clean the walls really well, and some people will throw up paint instead. I don't
Hmm.
know. I wouldn't waste my time doing that personally, but I that has been a complaint once before, and I kind of knew why the it peeled the paint afterwards. So
Yeah, and I could even see maybe somebody's thinking they put up the color, they paint it. Not what we wanted. Let's do the peel and stick. Or
yeah,
maybe they're thinking when we take the peel and stick down, that'll be the color of the wall, and we'll do that during the winter, and then we'll put the peel and stick up or back up. That said, how easy or not is it to put your peel and stick wallpaper back up once you took it down? Or can you?
it's really easy because because of what I do try it out quite frequently. Like the one in my that one bedroom I've left for a really long time because I want to see how long it would last. Another one, I put it up. 2 weeks later, I took it down, put it on some paper. A couple months later, I put it back up. Um, I was just testing the quality. So it depends on the quality, honestly, of the paper
Hmm.
and how well do you get it to put it back on the original paper backing that it came on. Because if you don't get it on well and you leave a lot of air bubbles, the air will get underneath and it'll get dusty and then it won't adhere as well. So it's not impossible. It does take a little bit of patience and time. But that is can make a huge impact because you can bring in color, pattern, texture,
Oh yeah.
a lot more fun to a space that might just be a solid painted wall.
Even an accent wall, just do it to one wall. Like I can't imagine the pop. Like what people would say, like, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" You're gonna notice it right away. Hmm.
Yeah. And there's some that is a lot more expensive than others. You could even just put that on like a sheet of plywood, put a cool frame around it, and there is a huge piece of artwork for a lot less money
Wow.
than original art. But that's something too that is, it's temporary. You could put it out in the garage when you don't want to use it and put it out when you do, or have it a really cool, like say this is a dining room. You could have three panels backing the dining room wall and make a real feature wall. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of fun you could have with wallpaper.
Are you also a big proponent of changing your artwork to maybe change up the seasons?
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, Ansel Adams was I love his photos and I consider them major art. I also like painting my own paintings. And again, you can find so many options, even just on Etsy, where you can hire somebody to do something. A lot of them will even have original artwork. And if you wanted it in specific colors, they'll recreate it in those colors for you. So, like I like dark and moody in the winter, but having a pop of really fresh, bright, bold colors in the springtime.
Hmm. All right. So what else can we do? We want to change it up for the spring.
I mean, you can always go outside and change things up out there, especially if you have a front porch. Why not have some fun with it? We have a lot of fun holidays in the spring and summer, and you can decorate it. We used to decorate for at my mom's house, decorate for every single holiday.
Hmm.
She would even make Easter trees. We would go and get white birch branches and put the little plastic eggs on them on the porch. And it was always really pretty. And everybody would come by to look at her front porch all the time. And that was where she had a lot of fun was on the porch, changing out the pillows, like you said earlier. Uh,
Hmm.
a lot of times she would make us take any outdoor furniture and spray paint it for the new year, a different color. I know one year we had red chairs, the Adirondack chairs. They originally, when she first got them, they were just wood, you know, and stained. But then after a couple of years, she wanted them painted, and each year she painted them a different color. You can always have fun if you have good quality furniture like that that allows for paint. Of course, she would also make us sand it back down to the finish because if you keep just applying paint on top of paint, it will peel and chip. significantly more and more each year. But she always made sure we did it right. That was our summer jobs.
I love the if you have the type of patio, um, to make that your seasonal section of your house, because it's the first thing you see when you walk up the steps or walk to the steps. That's it. Like, and it's kind of setting the tone. I never even thought of that. What a
Yeah.
cool idea.
Yeah. And there's so many amazing outdoor rugs. And honestly, in your home, and they're way more way less expensive indoor outdoor rugs. And what's nice about those is if you have children, you can use them on the inside too, but you can easily take them outside and hose them off if you need to. But those can make a huge difference as well. It's if it's on the inside, you might need bigger rugs and it would go under furniture. So again, it might take some time and effort to change those out, but there are some really nice ones that you can put out on a front patio as well that definitely can give you that pop of color and more texture and pattern that you're looking for that are easy to maintain as well.
What about the bedroom? Let's say we want to freshen that up for the spring. Thoughts there?
Your bedding and if you have window coverings, um, some people, I would say drapery is a love-hate thing. There's no in between.
Hmm.
I love drapery because it does add drama. It allows you to soften a room instead of like blinds. And blinds are kind of a pain to keep clean. Whereas drapery, you can pull it down off of the rings and throw it in the wash if it's a good fabric. But I do have summer and winter bedding. Um, if you have the big, huge comforter and you have a duvet that goes over it, just change out the duvet and that can be folded up and put away with those pillowcases that we were talking about earlier. But if you want to put like more fresh, bright colors in your bedroom, or even just going to a nice neutral white with whatever color or wallpaper is on your walls, that always makes it really nice and fresh for the summertime.
I recently bought higher thread count sheets, but I bought the thread count so high that it's like a sheet of ice. Like I think it was not exaggerating when I say like 1,500. They were on sale, one of the home stores, and then I read up like not a good idea because just the way they weave it together, it's not really a natural weave. It's kind of fabricated. But live and learn wasn't that expensive, but it changed it up. It was a different look and also a different color. But everything's a learning experience. You don't know until you try it.
Right? But also think about it this way. If you don't like them as sheets, you just bought a ton of fabric that you could turn around and make drapery, pillowcases. You
Hmm.
can make something with it. It can also be the back side of a comforter because it's probably not super stiff or uncomfortable, but on the back side of a comforter that might lean up against your face, it's okay. And where you can have a more decorative fabric on the front. That's another thing that I always, when we make custom bedding for people, I'll do one fabric on the back and one on top so they can flip it over. So they don't have to change out the duvet cover or the quilt.
Wow.
Literally just flip it to the other side. And same with pillows. We have a bunch of pillows here. It's one fabric on one side and one on the other, just so it's easily interchangeable, just to change things up once in a while.
It's a great point about the high thread count sheet. That it's okay, not crazy about it, because it's in the color scheme of that room. So you're already, you're intentional for making it work. So you're always thinking. What else? Anything else that we could do to address like spring?
I mean, in your kitchen, change out your tea towels. Um,
Hmm.
Typically, you have a small window in your kitchen. You can always change out the little valance that goes over the window over the sink, and just bringing in some more fun and color and vibrancy, adding some joy into your space. And it can be just very simplistic, small touches.
My takeaway here today is the peel and stick wallpaper. It just
I love
seems
that.
so easy. There's so many different choices. It's for the value, it's going to make a major impact. And you don't have to be a wallpaper expert. You know, you can just, the toughest part is matching depending on the paper that you bought, matching the patterns and everything. But you could get something so abstract that you don't have to worry about that. Nobody's going to pick up on it.
No, and if you screw it up, peel it off, start over. Just
Then
it's
there's
really
that.
easy. Yeah.
Would you do it in the same way? Like, let's say, you know, you're cutting into a corner. You could just take a razor blade and slice down into the corner and then lay it in flat.
Yes. Well, and typically you don't have to cut it in unless you have a really, really crooked wall.
Right.
So sometimes at the corners, and I wish I could show you, but I will overlap and turn the corner just because I want to make sure a lot of times butting them together, the seam does not come up correctly. So if I overlap it a little bit and go around the corner and then the next wall, I continue to go over. That, in my opinion, works best. Some of the peel and sticks are a little thicker than others, and you can't do that, and they really want you to butt it up. Those I try to stay away from just for that reason, because I've never met a wall that's perfectly plumb, and you'll always see something peeking through, and that is where you do paint underneath it, just so you don't see a weird color pop through.
So you're saying when you lay the wallpaper in the corner, make it one piece from one wall to the other, and just kind of put something, call it a screwdriver very carefully or a credit card, and push it down into the corner, and then seam it after that.
Yes, and depending on where you buy the wallpaper, they typically have tools that they'll sell.
Yep.
That you kind of mentioned it. It's kind of like a bigger credit card. It'll have like a rubberish type film on it, so it doesn't cut into the wallpaper. But yeah, you start at the top, start peeling some of the paper off, make sure the top is connected really well, hold that down and just continue to scrape the bubbles out as you go. And make sure you get all the bubbles out before you go to the next piece.
Best way to reach you is your website, tabinteriordesigns.com.
Yes. And you can find a great video on there where we show you our process, find our phone number if you want to call us, our Instagram as well. We are pretty easy to reach.
Beautiful. Thank you for the tips today. Some of them so inexpensive and the impact they make amazing. And I just want to say, Ansel Adams, I just pulled up some of his pictures a second ago. Like, I forgot how good he was. Like, oh my gosh. And you got to remember, this is, those photographs in the 40s, the 50s. How'd the dude do that? I mean, I've when I was younger, processed pictures myself, had a dark room, did all of that. Of course, now digital. But just the contrast and the detail, unbelievable. like
and it's timeless. His work is timeless. It works
really
anywhere and everywhere. Yeah.
It was, I just saw something too. One of his prints sold like 5 years ago for almost $1 million. And this is 40 something years after he passed away. Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a geek like that. Trish, I will later on. I'm serious. When I have a couple of minutes and I'm eating lunch or whatever, I'll be looking at all of his pictures. Like, I just do that. Like, I get obsessed, like in awe of work like that, especially in black and white. Amazing.
It's great.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.